make a move and the bunny gets it.
I said, put the bunny back in the box. Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
It's showtime.
Roar. Roar.
Colonel Ironsides here. 200 years I stood in the gap, fighting those who would harm my country. It was my honor, my sacred duty, so help me God. 9 times they took my life. 9 times I stood back up and made them pay. The freedom fighter and I could handle anything, but someone betrayed me. I was ambushed, made mortal, rendered powerless, and retired. They passed an amendment that made me a civilian before I left the hospital. For 50 years, I've watched my country change. Watched its work while erasing me from history. The day I quit my job, I powered up and discovered they lied about that too. I'll remind them of freedom. I'll remind them of duty. I'll remind them of their oaths and who they serve. I'll remind them while I'm shoving it down their throats.
Psychically, I'm very well endowed.
I want to know what you're thinking. There are some things you can't hide. I want to know what you're feeling. Tell me what's on your mind.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Thursday night to Gen X Files, the show that follows pop culture from the perspective of those for which it was written. And that means that is Gen X. Others can kind of dispute that fact, but when you look at the best pop culture, it happened around in the childhood and early adult years of a certain group of people. We're talking late 70s, 80s, into the 90s was when one could argue the best pop culture was ever given to us. And there happened to be one generation that it was aimed at, and that is Gen X. Anyway, I'm not going to dispute it with anybody, but that's what my personal belief is. And, I believe I'm right. Then it is what it is. Anyway, but today, one of the biggest touchstones of my childhood, which is why it's been very disappointing to see the heel turn that has happened within the last, I'd say around 20 years now. I'd say it's around 20 years. But of the Disney Corporation. Now, I was a Disney kid. I was primarily raised by Disney. My parents were devout Christian. And in Christian households, there was only like one source of entertainment that was deemed like safe, that parents could like just stick their kids in front of and not have any fears about what they were going to see, because of Uncle Walt was curating everything, and so people trusted Walt and Uncle Walt Disney, and and times have changed just a little bit. Now, if you see Disney on anything, you make sure you stay in the room when your child is watching, because of their not so secret gay agenda, which is actually what one of their executives said. Yeah. One of the executives' pets of Abigail Disney, who is the real cancer, niece of Uncle Walt. So may she burn in hell for all eternity for what she's done to his legacy. I'm a little bitter. I'm just a little bitter. Anyway, off of that subject and on to nicer subjects than Abigail Disney, mainly horror. So now, for all of Uncle Walt's family friendliness, he did occasionally, now especially when Michael Eisner took over. Michael Eisner definitely added in a lot of dark stuff, but Uncle Walt is not off. He is not off the hook for this, but he believed that children's entertainment had to basically prepare children for life, and so he left a lot of difficult life lessons in the work that they put out. Things like Old Yeller. He did not spare the realities of pet ownership in that, as most of us who have scars from that particular movie can attest. A lot of times, they had like wilderness live animal documentaries. It was like Disney and Mutual Omaha were the two that you saw the most, and well, I'm sorry, but when you're following the wilderness animals, the nice fluffy bunny might be going through the meadow, and then all of a sudden here comes a fox, and, but that was reality. It's the way the world works, and prepare children for that reality. Now it's almost like they want the children so nerfed, so protected, that they don't see the dangers around them. I mean, Gen X, man, we were watching for the white vans. We were the latchkey kids. A lot of the first victims of serial killers and things like that were Gen X. So our generation was the most preyed upon generation before. I'm sure other generations have been preyed upon since, but we were like the first ones where after school specials had to scare the crap out of us because kids were disappearing. And so it was just the reality of the world. But one thing Uncle Walt's Disney did was it basically gave us a compass. It gave us kind of like some life lessons that were really difficult to process, but as a Disney child and as a sufferer of a tragic childhood, I can tell you that those life lessons that I was given by the occasional Disney movie with dark things happening in them, were helpful. Were helpful for me. And so, looks like we got one comment here. YouTube chat acting wonky again. That's entirely possible. YouTube is doing a lot of stupid stuff right now. YouTube chat hates me. Okay, well, all right, Buzz. Sorry about that. So anyway, I'll try to keep up with what's going on. But anyway, so now during the time of my childhood, there were certain Disney movies that caused me some consternation, let's just say, i.e. nightmares. Yeah, hell, brother, good to see you, man. But my list that I'm about to give today is by no ways comprehensive, but what I was looking for was movies, the whole entire movie, where the whole entire movie premise was dark. There are scenes that are dark from like almost all Disney movies. Chornabog showing up in the A Night on Bald Mountain in Fantasia is a good example. Fantasia as a whole wasn't horrific or scary, but that one sequence was. The witch's transformation in Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent's transformation. Of course, later on they made her into a protagonist. Yeah, what a great idea. But at times, Pinocchio, some of the sequences in Pinocchio were terrifying. But there were like moments in those movies, but the movies themselves, the themes weren't dark. But there were times where the whole entire movie was significantly dark. And so those are the ones that I'm covering today. Now, granted, this is not a comprehensive list. This is just ones that impacted me. When I wrote down movies that kind of like stuck with me for various different reasons. Now, the first one I'm going to show is it's kind of an oddity. It was actually a TV movie. And it wasn't actually shown on, Walt Disney's, like, what is that called? The anyway, the Sunday night show, The Magical World of Disney, or something like that. But this was actually shown on a series of like Saturdays on ABC, I think it was. And but this is a ghost story, and it was like shown not like a prime time. It was shown like I remember it being like right after cartoons or something on a Saturday. And it had it was like, I think 3 or 4 parts or something like that. But it's called Child of Glass. And for some reason, this girl's ghost effects just freaked me the hell out. And it really bothered me. I'm not entirely sure why. But it also had like this creepy little girl, had a creepy, like, little. I'll just play it. Now, granted, when I was freaked out by this, it was 1977, so I would have been 5 years old. So give me a break. Anyway, 4 years old. 4 years old. Yeah. Anyway, so give me a break. Give me a break. Anyway, here you go.
Blossom, you up here? This is one of your dumb tricks. Come on, enough's enough.
Alexander. Alexander. Wait, do not go, Alexander. I need your help.
Where are you?
I am in the darkness of the other world. But for a short time it has been given for me to come to you, to seek you out from among the living.
Me?
Do not be frightened, Alexander. No harm will come to you. You must help me, Alexander. We have only a short time to solve the riddle. The task must be completed before the midnight hour on All Saints' Eve, and only you can undertake it.
What's All Saints' Eve?
I believe you call it Halloween.
Why do I have to help you?
Because you're the one I've been waiting for all these long years. The one with the gift. The one who can release me from the terrible curse of my uncle.
What kind of curse?
One which condemned me to wander among the lost souls and restless spirits, and keeps me from my dear parents, who have been searching for me all these long years. If you do not help me, I will never be able to rest in peace.
I'd like to help you. Honest, but I don't know anything about curses.
Hear me now, for I may say this once, and only once. Sleeping lies the murdered lass. Vainly cries the child of glass. When the two shall be as one, the spirit's journey will be done.
It doesn't make any sense.
You must find the sense. You must solve the riddle, and you must do it soon. Now repeat it quickly. I must be certain that you will remember.
Sleeping lies the murdered lass. Vainly cries the child of glass. When the two shall be as one, the spirit's journey will be done. What does it all mean?
You must learn its secret for me, and solve the mystery that has kept me from my eternal rest for more than 100 years. I must go now, Alexander. Do not fail me. Release me from my prison, or I will haunt you for the rest of your days.
Haunt me? Wait a minute, I don't even know who you are.
Inez Germain.
But what do I do? Where do I start?
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, obviously it's not that scary, but I mean, it freaked me the hell out when I was a kid, 4-year-old kid. But yeah, I mean, it is pretty well written though. I mean, that it's got some pretty good dialogue in it. As a writer, I can appreciate that. But that one got me pretty good. Now, cartoon wise, the next one that really kind of affected me was I mentioned this last Saturday. We were talking about the Headless Horseman, and so of course you know what I'm going to play next. So here you go.
Once you cross that bridge, my friends, the ghost is through. His power ends.
Next morning, Ichabod's hat was found. And close beside it, a shattered pumpkin. But there was no trace of the schoolmaster.
Okay, it freaked me out. That freaked me out. That's back when Disney knew how to animate. There was like it was the fluidness of the movement and the choreography and it was the menacing of the Headless Horseman and the goofiness of Ichabod Crane and Gunsmoke. Yeah. Evidently YouTube took my stream down on YouTube. Hang in there for a minute. So it usually lasts about 5 minutes, or less. Sometimes just a minute. But I ran it through the system, and the system said it was fine. Evidently not. So I had a hunch that I probably should have ended it earlier. But oh well, hindsight is 2020. I'll hang out here for a few more minutes. But thing about the Headless Horseman that freaked me out was the lore of it. I've always loved it's kind of like legend and lore and storytelling, and I grew up with that stuff, and it's a I came from like mountain people, and mountain people told a lot of those same kind of dark stories, dark tales, or whatever it is. But okay, I'm back. All right, I'm back on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Sorry, I did run it through the system, and it said the system said it was fine, but evidently not. So it is what it is. Anytime you want to show any clips, you kind of run that risk. But there's a couple of but none of them said that I couldn't use them, but evidently not. But anyway, so at the risk of being taken down again, let me play this one here. Now, this one here, this was shown on Sunday nights, Disney Channel. Usually the movies were two-parters because they only had 1 hour. But this one here, it just freaked me out. You never really saw anything. It never is. It's not like really openly horror, but it's just the atmospherics of this thing really got to me. Betty Davis in herself is just just the lady can turn up the horror on any performance. But this is Lynn Holly Johnson of Ice Castles fame. I don't know if this is before or after Ice Castles, but she was kind of on the upswing in her career at this point. But anyway, let me play it right quick. It's called The Watcher in the Woods.
30 years ago, something happened in these woods. Something happened in this chapel. Something no one will talk about.
It's none of your business.
Mr. Keller, please!
Clear out of here. Something happened to a young girl. And it's happening again.
I couldn't see myself in the mirror.
Something is watching again. Waiting. The Watcher in the Woods.
Sometimes I hear someone whispering in the wind.
What do you think happened to Karen?
I think she's still out there.
Who is the Watcher in the Woods?
It's not Karen outside there. Don't you understand? It's someone else.
Who or what is watching?
John, get away!
Betty Davis, Carol Baker, David McCallum, and Lynn Holly Johnson. The Watcher in the Woods, from Walt Disney Productions. It is not a fairy tale.
I forgot David McCallum was in that. It's not a fairy tale, so they were obviously trying to the break out of their child friendly, kind of like box. But that movie freaked me out. It scared the crap out of me. And I've watched it multiple times. And there's an alternative ending that makes it make more sense, and less sense. But it was a horror story in the movie, the way it was edited, but there's like a sci-fi element to the original book, but that was alternative ending. But anyway, but that one freaked me out. Shown on Sunday nights. I don't know. I think I was about 70. That one's about 77, 78, something like that. But so that one really like bothered me. And so this next one, now this one I didn't make it through. I didn't make it through the movie. I watched like the first half of it, but then the rest of the family watched it the next Sunday night, and I ducked it. I just didn't want to watch it. I've since watched it, and I read the story it was based off of. But Jonathan Pryce is a brilliant actor. I remember seeing him in Brazil, and it just freaked me out. I was like, I know that guy from somewhere. I know him from somewhere. And he was so nebbish and so helpless in Brazil, and so kind of like put upon. and kind of like a victimized, that I didn't realize that he was Mr. Dark until, years later when I was like, Jonathan Pryce was Mr. Dark. Holy crap. He really is a brilliant actor. But this is a story from what is his name? I keep wanting to say Gene Roddenberry, but that's the guy that wrote Star Trek. Ray Bradbury. I don't know why I keep getting Gene Roddenberry and Ray Bradbury mixed up. I always do. I don't know why they're so conflated in my head. They're from similar eras. They both were writing at the same time. Maybe something like that. But anyway, this is Something Wicked This Way Comes. Hopefully it'll let me play it. If it doesn't, just hang around and I'll be back as soon as YouTube lets me. There you go.
Hellfire storms are coming. An electric storm to clean your streets and wash away your troubles.
For every heart, there exists a wish.
You ever play the numbers, Mr. Holloway?
Hey, never take risks. For every soul, there burns a desire.
Boy, you're up.
Always was. Smells to me like we're gonna have visitors.
But never whisper your dreams, for someone might be listening. And for every wish, there will be a price. For every desire, there will be a cost.
Soul's midnight.
My name is Mr. Dark. I advise you to respect it.
Dad, please be careful.
Will. These boys I'm looking for. Perhaps you know them?
Fine boy, fine. Both of them quite a credit to this little town, if you want to know the truth.
I do want to know the truth, sir. And the truth is that you are lying.
By the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes.
Then rang the bell.
By the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this week comes. I'm not going to risk any more of it. But just Jason Robarbs and Jonathan Pryce. And Jonathan Pryce, man, he was scary. But it's just a great story. Had a great message to it, but that just freaked me the heck out. I mean, the lady in the glass coffin and all sorts of stuff going on. Stephen King did a version of it called Needful Things. It's implied that the proprietor was actually Mr. Dark. So it was kind of like a continuation in a way. The movie is actually better than the book. The movie is actually very good. Mr. Galt is played by Max von Sydow. Max von Sydow can just make anything better. I think Ed Harris is in that one. Yeah, I think Ed Harris is in that one. Played Sheriff Pangborn, who's a frequent character for Stephen King universe. One of my favorite characters in the Stephen King universe. But anyway, so that would freak me out. And I about 1979, this would have been. But Disney decided around the same time Aliens came out. I just pointed this out to somebody earlier. That around the same time Aliens came out, this movie came out. And Aliens probably set sci-fi completely on its head. Nobody had seen anything like it. Adding like gore into sci-fi, it was kind of relatively new. And because of that, this movie got kind of hurt by that. It felt dated. By the time it came out, it felt dated. It was December, and Aliens came out like in May or something like that, early in the year. But it doesn't mean it's not a good movie. It doesn't mean it's not a disturbing movie. There's images in this I can't unsee. So Anthony Perkins didn't make it through the end of this movie. So I'll just say that much. If you want to watch it, it's good. It's got a 4K update. And the special effects for the time were just incredible. They spent a lot of money. They used a lot of the people that they used came from ILM, Industrial Light and Magic. And so they used some of Star Wars people. But you'll see, I mean, the models are very Star Trek, or Star Wars, sorry. But I play some of it. I don't want to play too much of it, but here you go.
Hello?
Welcome aboard the Cygnus. Consider yourselves my guests.
You've lived out here for 20 years? Alone?
I've created companions of a sort.
We can offer you the means of returning to Earth, Doctor.
What makes you think I want to return? I will travel where no man has dared to go.
Into the black hole?
Why, that's crazy. I'm just telling you that I had a gut feeling that I was looking at some kind of person.
And darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters.
Okay, the first trailer I watched was the original, and they really screwed that trailer up. But that trailer showed way too much of the movie, way too much of the plot. Whoever recut the trailer and made that did a very good job. I mean, that trailer is just genuinely very atmospheric. It's part of the 4K restoration that they did to bring it up for streaming. But it's worth a watch if you haven't seen the movie. And there's like Maximilian, that red robot you saw. Genuinely one of the scariest robots in all of cinema history. Anybody that knows will tell you that. Just something really scary about his design. It was just something wrong when you looked at him. But yeah, that movie, you go see science fiction. It's Disney. You're expecting something like Star Wars, because everybody was kind of like trying to get on the Star Wars bandwagon at that time. Yeah, so you're expecting something kind of like that. And you get a horror movie, basically a haunted house movie in space, with a big monster red robot that shreds people. Even with the goofy robots that they had, was just kind of like a Disney affectation. It's still, it's a genuinely disturbing movie, and towards the end of it has this sequence at the end of it that's I've never found anybody that could give a synopsis as to what that even means. So it has its detractors, but I think it's a gem. But when Disney went dark, he went dark, man. That movie is a good demonstration of that. If you haven't got the message by now, now I was going to play some Black Cauldron, but I'm afraid that's going to get struck because that's I think what got me in trouble, Mr. Ichabod Crane and the Headless Horseman. I think what got me in trouble with that was its full sequence. It's not like cut up. So this Black Cauldron scene is not cut up. So I'm not going to play it. But the Black Cauldron is just, it has a character death in it that'll break your heart. It's genuinely scary, generally creepy, and has pretty heavy tones in it. That's based off of German child fiction. Germans, man, their children's fiction is like some of our horror novels. I mean, Never Ending Story came out of the German children's fiction kind of area. With the horse dying in the swamp in the book, in the German book, Artax actually talks to him and tells him to go, to leave me. And at least they didn't do that in the movie, but still, that's German children's fiction for you. But Black Cauldron came out of that very, the Brahms fairy tale, the Brothers Grimm. Most of that is German fairy tales. Germans, they don't play around. They just do not play around. But anyway, so if you're interested, the Black Cauldron is very good, very good. Some of the best animation Disney ever did, but it was considered a flop when it came out because people thought it was too dark. Disney went dark, man. He went dark. This might have been after Disney, though. I think some of these right here are from Eisner's era, because Eisner took over for Disney, and he took Disney more adult direction, which Roy Disney had a problem with. So Roy Disney kind of like took over the board and kicked Eisner out, and Bob Iger was Roy Disney's choice, and the advice he was taking from him was from his daughter Abigail, who like I have said earlier, needs to burn in hell for all eternity for what she's done for her family's legacy because of her woke Nepo baby bullshit. But anyway, not that I'm bitter. But anyway, now along the lines in the 80s, this one didn't really disturb me, but it disturbed a lot of children that, my acquaintance. But they decided to do an Oz book, an Oz story. Okay. Now, that sounds like, so they had like a dancing, and they had like little munchkins. They had like a little like Technicolor, right? No. They decided to adhere closer to Frank L. Baum's books, which people who haven't read them don't know that Baum wrote a lot darker fiction than that movie let on. People who picked up those books discovered that. But they decided to stick closer to the Frank L. Baum source materials, and people weren't ready. Weren't ready for how dark Frank L. Baum could go. And this is young Firuza Balk. You know her later from The Craft. You know her from Waterboy. She always plays characters that are a little edgy. You know, she just plays everything with edge. And that included Dorothy. So anyway, so I'm going to hopefully play this for you. I may cut it off halfway through so I don't get gacked, but it said it was clean. But I don't know. We'll find out. Here we go.
You mentioned something about a tiger.
A lion. A cowardly lion.
And he could talk, too, like the Scarecrow and the Tin Man?
Remember how we spoke?
Not to talk about us. Because it's just my imagination.
Just how did you get back from Oz?
You put them on, and you click the heels 3 times. And then you said there's no place like home.
I know you don't want to go to the doctor's, but you just haven't slept the night right through since the tornado.
This electrical marvel will make it possible for you to sleep again.
And them. My friends are in trouble. I know it.
We're in trouble, Dorothy.
I heard of once in a lullaby.
They've all been turned to stone. Beware the Wheelers. I don't remember them.
Isn't that a stolen lunch pail in your hand? Isn't that a chicken in there with you? Chicken! The Gnome King doesn't allow chickens anywhere in Oz.
Who's the Gnome King?
Who's the Gnome King?
So yeah, Return to Oz, which is odd because at the time it kind of like was hated by people. I don't think it did very well at the box office, but now people consider it a classic. But oddly enough, they don't really think of it as an Oz movie. They think more along the lines of a horror movie. I mean, it has some really horrific images in it. Like there is a woman who puts heads on. You know, if she doesn't like this head, she will switch heads. Yes, that's in that movie. A headless woman who likes to trade heads. Yeah. Anyway. But like I said, when Disney went dark, Disney went dark. So now what am I saying here? Is that Disney helped me grow up, helped me in my childhood. All the wonderful movies gave me imagination that I'm still using today to write. It was great storytelling. It was great characterizations, incredible art. And you knew every time you watched the Wide World of Disney, you knew whatever you were going to see was going to be something interesting, something unique, something fun, something well crafted, something that was cared about and poured over. You expected quality, and occasionally you would get a left turn into the dark woods where something was watching. The watcher in the woods, you get it. But the thing about it is storytelling matches all facets. Storytelling is important, vitally important in all facets. One of the reasons why the Bible is such an important book is because the Bible has all sorts of different kinds of stories in it. It has triumphant stories. It has victories. It has defeats. It has perfect hero in it, the perfect hero, and it also had flawed heroes, and it had men who were used by God who weren't heroes at all, like Samson. And it had good men that had failures, like David. But it also had a narrative thread that goes through the whole entire thing. It also has poetry and stuff like that. But the thing about Disney was that no matter what you got, if you got a nature documentary, if you got a historical story, if you got a horror tale, a science fiction horror tale on the edge of a black hole, you would get something that was going to enrich your life, make your give you your emotional intelligence, colors to paint with. And it helped you perceive the world around you. And it helps you to dream and sometimes have nightmares, in my case. But what Disney used to be, and one of the reasons why it's so hard to let it go, is that it used to be institution. It used to be Americana. It used to be a fabric, part of the quilt that made up America, and entertained people from the penthouses of New York all the way to the wheat fields of Idaho and Iowa. It entertained because the man at the heart of it had a heart for people, had a heart for children in particular. And he wanted to enrich their lives. And he did so. He enriched mine. And enriched a lot of, and I think a lot of people who are still holding on to Disney today are Gen Xers, primarily because we were raised by Disney. And so telling us now that this positive figure of our childhood is now a negative thing, a negative cultural force who hates us and is actively working towards the downfall of our children, grandchildren, and of our culture at large. It's just hard to process that, but it makes it no less true that used to Disney went dark upon occasion and for purpose. But in the last 10 years, maybe even 20, since Bob Iger has been in charge, definitely Disney's went dark and stayed there. Now that's where they live. That's where they create. And that's where they plan. And it's hard to say goodbye. There's part of me still hoping that they'll course correct someday. And maybe Miss Abigail will finally do the world a favor and shuffle off this mortal coil. And maybe somebody behind her will actually have more Walt in them than her. But that's the only hope. That, because as long as she's there, as long as the Nepo baby is there, pulling the strings, Disney will never return to where it used to be. And you can't vote her out because her name's on the door. But anyway, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for hanging out with me, Gen X Files. And we will see you next time. Cryptids and Conspiracy Saturday night is going to be on the Amityville Horror. Now, we did one on Ed and Lorraine Warren, and there was an element that, they investigated the Amityville. But Amityville deserves its own show. It definitely deserves its own show. So we're going to do it this Saturday night. And hopefully we'll see you there. But thank you all for coming and hanging out with me in the rabbit hole. And follow the White Rabbit. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.